this is where I really started getting into reading sheet music and jazz and also orchestral music. And, I would listen to a lot of jazz, and my dad would show me people like Sun Ra, Miles Davis, Wynton Marsalis, classics. Very, very, very fantastic musicians. And yeah, that there were lots of band nerds up there, and one of those few people were baritone sax player, and I ended up talking to him. We were kind of good friends for a while, and then one time we came up with the decision to do a jam session at his house. I'm like, whoa, a jam session? I haven't played with somebody like in a while, like just improvising. So this was in about September of 2018, and I went to his house, and it would pretty much be him on the drum set, me on guitar and bass, and we had some fun. And I that really is a good memory for me because this is where when I was writing music, I was actually writing riffs with my guitar. One time I was jamming out in my room, and I wrote this fun riff. And when I was playing it, I was just like, oh, it would be cool if I had somebody play this with. And we were trying to come up with something next to play other than just like Iron Man and Smells Like Teen Spirit, simple songs like that. And I was like, I wrote this riff, and I started to play it along with him. And then we were kind of thinking I was thinking and I told him like, I think it would be cool if we could put together a band and play this and kind of turn it into a song. And then this is where we started forming a band. And this is a story I can pretty much remember like yesterday. So I knew a lot of kids, and you know it was just like I really wanted to be a bass player instead. And we had bass and saxophone, and we wanted to find some more people. So the first person we went to for someone to play on the drum set was our friend DJ, and yes, he is the drummer for us now. And yeah, it didn't really take too much thinking. We're just like, look for a drummer. Just look for the guy who plays drum set in the school jazz band, man. You know, it was just like, don't overthink it. And then after that, we uh, ended up coming up with the decision to add in an auxiliary percussionist. Doing cowbells and bongos and stuff like that. James was a little bit hesitant with it. He didn't think we really needed it, but then I like showed him uh, who I wanted to do it, and then he was just like, okay, yes, yes, we're gonna bring him in, and that was Cole, and he is what really defines our sound. What he just adds an extra groovy rhythm section, which is pretty much what you need. And then the final ingredient, we needed a guitar player. James knew a kid from his class that played, and he just threw him in there. And for a while we actually were jamming out for a bit. But the thing is that our guitar player didn't show up, so I'd be filling in on the guitar. And then after a while, we had trouble looping riffs on the keyboard so that we could have the sax playing and the vocalizing and stuff. But that didn't really work out. We couldn't really play along with it. And getting the right timing in wasn't easy either. But yeah, we had to get ourselves a keyboard player, so we ended up finding somebody, and that was Cody, to play keyboards with us. And well, our guitar player didn't really want to play, and he would just come up with excuses so that he couldn't come. So we ended up kicking him. And then we spent about like 6 months or so without a guitar player, just me filling in on the guitar and James filling in on the bass. And it was fun for a while. The recordings we have are pretty cool, but it would have been better if you could like get the whole band in there. And after all those months, we found somebody, and he was moving, unfortunately. But after we were like, oh no, 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 we just found this guy, and now he's moving. He actually just introduced us immediately to another person he knew, and that ended up being Tom, our present guitar player. And we had a lot of fun playing with Tommy. Tommy is a very fantastic guitarist. He and Cole, and James actually, those three instruments, the saxophone and the guitar and the auxiliary percussion, that kind of is what adds in the refrigerator sound. That's how we really got our own type of thing. Like where if you listen to our stuff, you're like, okay, that's refrigerator. The guitar tone is really what makes it. And it seemed like most of us were having fun for a while. Unfortunately, Cody didn't feel the same, and he ended up quitting the band. And this was during the time of quarantine, and we were all really upset about it. And you know, we couldn't really find any other keyboard player. We struggled for a while finding someone else who would want to do it, and like especially to play in a strange band. Like we're a jam band, and we do experimental avant-garde type of stuff too. So not everybody would want to do that. Like someone who's like into pop music or into classical music. I don't know if they would really want to be in a band like that. So we were just like really upset about that, and then we would send out messages. We would put a post out on our Instagram, and then our sax player would do it. He had James. He would do it on his Instagram, and then I would do it on my Instagram. And then a little, like at least like an hour or something later, somebody sent us an email to Tommy, and then he's like, "Hey, I saw Jeremy's post, and I'm actually interested. I can play keyboards." And we're just like, "Oh wow!" And we tested him like to know if he knew his chords and the music he listened to, and he was good. Eli was good, yeah, and he still plays to us to now. And I'm really thankful to have Eli there. He's really passionate about this, which is what we really need. You really need someone passionate. That's what makes your music better and makes you better at music. If you are passionate about it, that's the key thing that makes you good. And that's pretty much why I'm good at music and not good at math. But yeah, that kind of leads to now. Refrigerator, we still play to now. We are a sextet jam band from Ridley Park, Pennsylvania, and we love it. We do really fun jams. We switch instruments during jams. You have cool strobe lights that we use when we practice, and probably are going to do it when we start performing after all this Corona crap ends. And music is just a really, really fun thing for me. And confidence, that's something that I always struggled with, honestly. I think that's what's going to kind of drag me down sometimes when I play. And, like when I started playing, I really had trouble with my confidence, and that really was kind of the thing in the road that stopped me. But what helped me with my confidence and also connecting with other musicians was back to school band. I'm going to go over this briefly. So, I look and try to find different musicians to listen to, and one of those people was this bass player named Gerald Veasley. He was a very, very talented person, and his bass, the way he played bass with his chords all and stuff, I was just like amazed. I'm like, this is insane. But this is what's cool. At my jazz band, we have this thing called the Jazz Night, where we come together with the middle school jazz band, the elementary jazz band, and the high school jazz band. We all play a concert. We play our songs, and then the high school plays their songs. It would kind of be like that. And what made it extra fun was that we would invite a famous musician, a guest artist, to come play with us. The first year was insane. We had Alex Meixner. He was an accordion and trumpet player, and also a vocalist. He plays incredible polka music, and most people would know him as the pepperoni guy. He would be a one-man band. He had a bass drum on his back, accordion. He was insane. And I actually am still friends with him to this day. I go the past 2 years. I went and saw him at Oktoberfest, and extremely insane and entertaining concerts. If Alex Meixner ever comes to your area, you gotta see him like at least one time. He is amazing. And the second year, this was a few months after I started listening to Gerald Veasley, and we were actually supposed to have Victor Wooten come play with us, like Victor Wooten actually, and unfortunately we couldn't invite him to play with us because he was on tour, and yeah, we didn't get Victor Wooten, but my band director came to me, like, we did have a bass player, and he's like, the guy that's coming to play with us is Gerald Veasley, and I was just like, Gerald Veasley, I type out his videos, and like, I wasn't like listening to all of his music and stuff, but I knew who he was because I found that one video, and I was just like, oh, I know this guy, I just started listening to him a few months ago, and then, you know, going there and seeing him there is just like, oh my god, this is nuts, and oh my god, this is a very, very memorable part, a very inspiring moment in my music career, kind of. It's just like he was the first professional bass player I ever played with, and I had a bass solo on one of my songs, like one of our songs we would play, and I would come out to do a solo at one part, and what happened was during the solo section, my band director was like, "Hey, what if you two had a bass battle? That would be awesome." And then we ended up having a bass battle and like doing it on stage, and you can watch the whole thing. I'll leave it as a link in the description. And oh man, I want to thank Gerald because he was absolutely inspiring, and it's a moment I will never forget in my life, and will always stick in my heart and uh, keep my confidence up when I'm performing on stage, no matter the instrument, no matter the gig. That moment is something that I will treasure. And yeah, that that's something that will definitely impact the way I look at performing as a musician. But yeah, that's pretty much my story. I started listening to very avant-garde type of music recently. I've been listening to stuff like the Shags, lots and lots of Zappa, Captain Beefheart, and Steve Roden, who was the creator of lowercase music, which is what inspired me to start uploading and putting together pieces of lowercase music. And yeah, it's very strange, but I think it's cool. And that's kind of what led me to doing this type of stuff. And I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be giving up music. I am planning on being a music teacher in the future. And yeah, that's my story. You can check out Refrigerator in the description, other videos, and yeah, I might be doing more videos like this where I'm talking. It's a little bit of content change, but I still will be uploading some funny videos where I like cut off the song when it says the name, or other people performing live. But yeah, thanks for watching.